Yeah, it's getting a little crazy. It definitely is. I got to figure out something to do with this hair. Maybe try a twist. Shoots, it's about long enough that I could probably braid it at this point. It's gotten to be a point of, it's kind of like the hair of honor. I just don't know what to do with it. That I just want to see what it'll do. You know, if I'll look like a wild man. Actually, I think I already do look like a wild man. All right, so our defense has been struggling. Mike McCarthy's feeling a little bit of pressure because, this is one of those nepotism hires, so to speak, that, did I say, no, Mike McCarthy. I thought I said Wade Phillips for a second. There must have been a Freudian slip. But Mike McCarthy, got the job and everything else, he's got a pedigree of Super Bowl win, worked with some great quarterbacks, Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre and things like that, Joe Montana. Um, got the job and hired a lot of guys that were his friends. And I thought that having a worldview, so to speak, an NFL worldview, would be helpful. Understanding what worked over here and what worked over there. You take a little bit of this and it becomes the Dallas Cowboys melting pot. But thus far, it doesn't seem like it's worked out really well. And, there's a lot of things that can be said about it or have been said about it, from Troy Aikman saying that basically, what was put out on film is a disgrace. I would never in my life want to put out some crap like that a lot of this is effort. And maybe some of it is body language. I don't know. We had, D-Law saying that they played soft, Joe Thomas was like, well, I don't know that it wasn't that, we didn't have effort, but if D-Law says we were soft, maybe we were soft. But it seems like the body language is they're not taking to this defense. The only one who seems to be okay with this defense has been Aldon Smith, because Aldon Smith said it's not that complex. We heard, Jalen Smith saying that, maybe we ought to simplify it some and make it a little easier for people. Mike McCarthy says, I don't want it to be just a one defense, vanilla defense. So we have this thing where it feels like maybe there's a player's revolt. I don't know. Maybe the change from, what they did before for a couple of years with Rod Marnelli now to, Mike Nolan, the guys are kind of like, yo, bro, this ain't it. I don't know. But Cowboy fans always want to off with your head. Off with your head. Get that bum out of here and bring somebody else in. At some point, you can't just continue to just keep bringing people in. And wanting to bring somebody in, Snacks Harrison has signed with the Seattle Seahawks practice squad, so you can't bring him in now. And, of course, Earl Thomas is still out there. Everybody thinks that Earl Thomas is the Dallas Cowboys panacea that will cure everything on the defense, but they definitely don't want him because they could have had him weeks ago. So that's not going to happen. Another interesting take with somebody who has familiarity with the Dallas Cowboys is Wade Phillips. Wade Phillips, who famously benched Doug Flutie because Doug Flutie wasn't the prototypical quarterback. He was too short. He's only 5'10". And they got the guy who looked like a quarterback, Rob Johnson, who's the prototypical size and arm and everything else, but couldn't win. Benched Doug Flutie, who had gotten them to the playoffs, for Rob Johnson when he got healthy, and sucked. We had Wade here as a head coach, and we didn't have a lot of success, which ushered in the era of Jason Garrett. But the crazy thing is when you look at what Wade Phillips has done. I used to love his dad, Bum Phillips. That was back in the days of it used to being the Houston Oilers and Houston Oilers, Houston Oilers, Houston Oilers #1. Well, they weren't actually #1, but they had Earl Campbell, that running game, and his dad with the real big, hat, Bum Phillips. But anyway, I digress. Wade Phillips, his son, has been a defensive guru. Defensive guru. And some guys aren't great head coaches, but as coordinators, they're butter. Norv Turner is one of those guys that his head coaching career, Yeah. But as an offensive coordinator, he always wins. I mean, he was here with the triplets. Although we had a great offensive line, we had Michael Irvin and we had Troy Aikman and Emmitt Smith. It might not have been that hard to do. But anyway, Wade Phillips is one of those guys with Denver, Super Bowl, Von Miller and all those guys and things, has had the Cowboys number and has been a defensive genius. So a couple days ago, somebody asked him, what do you think about the Cowboys situation where they're not real good, bad, historically bad. By comparison, Cowboys have given up 146 points in 4 games. That's 36.5 points a game. Kansas City, who we think about all of the offense that Kansas City puts out there, their defense only giving up 70, less than half, or excuse me, more than half, because 70 into 146 means 76, so that's more than half. Yeah. Or less than half. No, that's less than half. Okay, you know what I'm saying. They give up 70. We give up 146. I'm going crazy here. My mind is going crazy with what's happening. I feel like a crackhead right now. Yo, man. You know what I do for a win? Come on, man. I need my fix. I need a win. Come on, man. Can you spare a little bit? Can you spare a win for our Cowboys, man? I got that itch. Yeah, it's come to that with the Cowboys. We need a win bad. So, Wade Phillips comment back after asking, what do you think about the Dallas Cowboys' historically bad defense? Watching and waiting. That's it. Watching and waiting. Let's read between the lines, or should I say the line? There's only 3 words. It's really one line. He's watching. Mike McCarthy was watching the whole time he was out. He was watching because he was talking about how Kellen Moore was a genius and Dak Prescott, he's a great quarterback and stuff. He was watching and analyzing. Wade is watching and waiting. Waiting? Waiting for what? Okay. Waiting for a phone call? Waiting for the Dallas Cowboys to get in touch with you to take over? To be a consultant? To be a defensive coordinator? Waiting for what? Clearly, the Dallas Cowboys have given the dreaded, and I mean dreaded, vote of confidence, which is like the kiss of death, which means shit better change around real quick or you're going to be sleeping with the fishies. Not my fishies out here. I don't want you out here polluting the fish. But you understand what I'm saying. So, is it possible that Wade Phillips could come in to take over this defense? I don't know. But they need something to put some life into the Dallas Cowboys. Because the reality is we've got an offense that it's not perfect. There's no offense that's perfect. For some reason, I put that video earlier about Pat Mahomes and Dak Prescott that you can put Pat Mahomes on this team, and sorry, with the way this defense is playing and what they're scoring, you just can't. You can't score 36 plus points every game. You just can't. It's just an impossibility. And that unless we get some defense, and we don't need a lot. I mean, if you hold them to 24 points, hell, we'd be 3-1. that we need something. Excuse me. Excuse me. We need something to inject some life into this defense. Because right now, brother, they looking like they just rolled over and died. We'll find out. We'll see if anything else happens. We're going to keep our ears to the train tracks. Here, if we hear the train coming down the tracks, hopefully I hear it before it hits me. We'll let you know if we find out anything. I'm Mark Holmes, and I'll see you later.